Every sentence can be used. For example, not grasping for the non-grasping itself can be used at all times. It's the sentence that purifies itself. It's purifying all the acknowledgements, seeing, knowing. It will purify everything in regards to acknowledgements. There is grasping for seeing, knowing, and looking. It's receiving all the karma and karmic difficulties simultaneously. Therefore, use the sentence that purifies itself constantly. The sentence that purifies itself. Just recall it. This will be purification simultaneously with the usage of the gates of perceptions, purifying through the extinction and the emptiness. Without the purification for the make-up, for the assume up, there will be just the delusive attachment of habits. The desire and delusive attachment of habits will be just about fixation and grasping. This will continue with the suffering. Therefore, use terminologies that purify themselves, the reminders that purify themselves, the sentence that purifies themselves. This will help through unwinding and releasing altogether, purifying simultaneously with the gates of perceptions for karma and karmic difficulties, for the karmic difficulties of the samudaya, of the delusive attachments. To purify karma is to purify the delusive attachments. These are the sentences that purify themselves. It affects in the purification for the desire, delusion, and delusive attachments, which are the karmic difficulties. Don't look just the external karmic difficulties here and there. All the fixation is the karmic difficulties from the delusive attachments. The delusive attachment, the upathan, is the karma itself. It's the karmic difficulties in itself. It's the same thing. So let's purify karma and karmic difficulties altogether. From no grasping for the non-grasping itself with everything at all times. Everything is not grasping for the non-grasping itself simultaneously. This will purify the karma and karmic difficulties from the delusive attachments. In other words, it's called helping through unwinding and releasing. This is the same thing. Otherwise, they're just looking, seeing, and knowing. Gates of perceptions that have the overlaying of the upathan, which is karma. This is karma that is linking to the external karma. Therefore, use the reminders that purify themselves continuously, all the time. Discard the discarding itself, not grasping for the non-grasping itself. Continue to use these reminders. They are the sentence that purify themselves. This is called the form up purify itself. Therefore, it will not affect by ways of samsara. It will not become circling. That's the effect. Not in the way of samsara, not circling like samsara. It will be the unwinding, discarding itself. Emptiness that doesn't grasp for itself. Unwinding, discarding itself. Peace doesn't grasp for peace. It's easy to bless the non-humans, helping through unwinding for one another. The humans have a lot of questions. The Anupap of Luang Por can shake the stability of people because nothing is stable. If they try to be stable, it's like deceiving oneself. All the institutions of monetary of the world, Luang Por can talk about it also. When people suffer, we have to share the Anupap, help them through metta with the foundation of the purification of the extinction and emptiness. The Anupap of metta must help them as a basis with the foundation that is already there of the essence. When they are depressed, this can be used. But pure metta alone cannot be used because it's still an emotion. It has to be by the foundation of mind from mind itself, not grasping for the non-grasping itself. This is the foundation for metta of sunyata. Everyone is trying to win over situations. That kind of work is like pressurizing oneself. They don't shift according to situations, not flexible. Most of the time, there are some who are flexible according to circumstances. Most of the people not shifting according to situations but trying to win over it. Therefore, they are complaining towards circumstances. That is like suffering on top of suffering is the pressure. The pressure creates suffering on top of suffering. The important point is that the followers will follow the leaders. So it's subjected to the leaders. If the leaders are not having balance within themselves, then the followers will be pressured at the same time. When the leaders are imbalanced, the followers are unfortunate simultaneously, accordingly. The banking system actually has no substantial in itself, no real substantial. It's assumed up and then creating personnel to work
แล้ว
together.
ระบบธนาคารเนี่ย
And this kind of system
มันไม่ใช่เสาหลัก
is not the main totem of societies. It's just part
และ
of
สั
it.
งคมในภาครวมก็ไม่มีตัวตน
And societies at large also is not substantial. It's just vague. It's assumed up from all beings, from everyone, in various forms, in various processes, together as one societies. And the banking system is just one part of it. It's not the main thing. If societies can remain, then the banking system can remain also, and vice versa.
ใช่แล้วท่านพูดให้ผมไปเลยพูดให้ผมไปเลยเวลาทำงานไม่ต้องปรับตัว
Therefore,
สังคมมันแยก
while working, you need to be flexible. If society is coming down, declining, then the banking system also declining.
ขายประกันด้วย
In the past,
เสริมในธนาคาร
the banking system only have interest as the main income, but now they do trading with insurance. There is pressures for everyone there. It's wrong.
ต้องยอมรับ
You have to accept
คนเป็นโรคมะเร็ง
the reality, just like those who have cancer. The mind have to accept that one has to go for dying,
หรือทำใจล่วงหน้า
and
ไว้
they have to realize this
เว
truth
ลามันตายมันจะได้ไม่อะไร
and telling them the truth that you have to die
แต่อยู่ๆก็ไม่
so
รู้
that
ตอน
you
ที่
can
ตายมัน
let
ต
go
กใจ
with your body and
วิตก
mind,
กังวลเลย
so that there will not be any worries.
ตายด้วยความวิตกกังวลตายด้วยตก
Otherwise, you will die with worries, with
ไม่
frightened,
ได้ทำใจไว้รอไว้ก่อน
because there is no
ข้อผิดพลาด
letting go of the
ไม่ยอม
minds
บอกความจริงต่อกันและกัน
with preparation. The mistake is that you are not telling the truth to each
เรื่อง
other.
นั้นเป็นยิงคุยไว้เยอะมากสะท้อนให้ฟังลักษณะเยอะเนาะดูจนเสียงแหบเสียงโอเคแล้วถึงเวลาก็ล้มหมดนะ
At times, everything will be demolished.
ก็ไป
Our banking system,
ไปพึ่งตัวเองพึ่งใครพึ่งมัน
one have to depend on oneself.
สังคมมันเนี่ยต้องถึงจุดเสื่อม
Societies have to come to the declining point.
ความเสื่อม
It's not yet to the maximum. Right now, karma is destined
ไม่ต้องเป็นเช่นนั้น
societies to be as such.
แม่น้ำเอาขาลงไม่ได้ขาขึ้น
This is flowing downward, but not yet to the maximum of it.
ดังนั้นก็ต้องทำใจ
So we have to let it be.
ยกตัวอย่างให้ฟังเลยละเขาต้องการจะไปสร้างเงื่อนไขขึ้นมา
The important point, don't create conditions
การทำ
to pressure the work
จะต้องอย่างนั้นต้อง
from everyone
ให้ได้ตามเป้าให้ได้
with
ตามนั้น
obligations, with all the targets. Don't do that.
ถึงเวลาปรับมันลดลงแล้วก็ต้องปรับลดตาม
We have to be flexible according to whatever that is shifting, because societies is
เราก็ต้องปรับ
coming to the still point. We have to be flexible.
ได้ก็ได้ไม่ได้
Let it be. If you get, you get. If not, then let it be.
ตั้งได้
You can set up
ได้ไม่ได้มันก็ไม่ได้
the balance, the interest, the
ไม่ได้
income,
ไม่ได้ต้องได้
but don't be condition yourself with such target. Otherwise, it's gonna be like hell.
ไม่ดี
It's not good.
ถ้ามันเป็นลักษณะเช่นนี้ก็เหมือนกับบ้านหลังหนึ่งคนอยู่ในบ้านไม่มี
Just like the house with suffering people in it. Each country is part of the world societies.
แม้แต่ละประเทศมันก็เป็นเพียงส่วนหนึ่งของสังคม
Each country is one part
บางประเทศ
of
ไม่
societies.
เป็นก็ล่วงไปหลายประเทศ
Many countries don't know how to manage themselves.
เออ
They fail. Many of them fail.
บริหารได้เป็น
It was messy and people live according to one's own karma and karmic retributions because they don't know how to manage the country. It fails. So listen that at the moment societies at large are destined by one's own karma. The darkness, the karma of the darkness will destine first because it's much more than the brightness. So it's at work right now in the world and societies. People are engrossed with technology of development, progression, materialism, sound, smell, taste, touches, and shapes that one given value to. They are engrossed in it, that's why they are dark. Therefore, it's much more than the brightness. They have to pay back in the form of darkness first, because it's much more than the brightness. The darkness still at work for societies right now. It's destined the societies right now. Even you are doing merits in this way and that way, it's not solving truly for societies. There is still an expectation in merit. It's like you're trying to be good, but it's not good in this goodness because the desire and delusive attachment is overlaying. Set up for goodness is not good. This is the samudaya, is the cause of suffering. This is a kind of karmic difficulties in itself. This is not really solving. True solving have to know how to let go of the letting go itself, put down the putting down itself. Then it will be true solving. This is not to do merit in order to solve the karma. But karma is in the queue to destine the world and societies. Doing merits to solve sins and karma is not truly helpful because there is this desire and delusion overlaying the merits. It's still karma, whether it's good or bad karma. It's not true solving. You have to know how to let go of the letting go itself, not grasping for the non-grasping itself, not attached to the non-attachment itself. Then it will be true solving. Then it is fortunate because it's beyond good and bad karma. That is true solving of karma. Good karma is still karma. Is the delusive attachment that overlaying karma, always giving value to goodness. That is not solving at all. It creates competition between good and bad, and both will be parallel because it's karma. Goodness is not good in itself when there is fixation to it. If you want to be good, then it's not good within that goodness. Any significance in the goodness that is not good in the goodness. People in general, they listen to whatever damn thing, they don't listen to this essence. It's not solving anything when you replace positivity for the negativity because it's still karma in different forms. It's a delusive attachment, desire and delusive and delusion within the karma. True solving, you have to step back, to put down the putting down itself, to let go of the letting go itself, to not grasp for the non-grasping itself, to not attach to the non-attachment itself. Then it will be true solving. Then it will be a true period of civilization. It's not about good or
แบบ
bad
ไม่ดีเนี่ยมันก็ทะเลาะกันอยู่นะ
because this is gonna create
ขัด
quarrels
แย้งกันอยู่นั่นแหละ
among one another, conflicting among one another on and on.
ทำอนิจจังในธรรมทำอนัตตา
Dhamma is anicca and anatta in itself. Good or bad is anicca and anatta in itself. It's dukkha and suffering in itself as well, for both goodness and badness.
อันดีก็คือกรรมไม่ดีก็คือกรรม
Whether it's good or bad is
อันดี
karma.
ไม่ใช่สิ่งที่จะช่วยแก้ไขอะไร
Therefore, goodness cannot help solve anything. It's just shifting and changing
และที่
the
สำคัญ
karma.
ที่แสบที่สุดคือมันไม่ดีในดี
The worst is that
ติดดีมันก็เลยไม่ดี
the fixation to goodness is not good at all.
แสบที่สุดแล้ว
that is the worst.
หลอกตัวเองแบบสุดๆ
That is deceiving oneself to the
ตัวเอง
max,
ดีแล้ว
thinking that one is good, already good.
หลงดีเนี่ยมัน
Fixation to goodness is not good in itself. Did you know
จะ
that?
หลอกตัวเองว่าเป็นคนดี
Deceiving oneself that one is good person. What is it within goodness?
อะไรดีๆคนเหรอคนดีเหรอ
Is that good person?
มันโมหะนะ
That is a delusion.
มันคือสรรพสัตว์
That is the beings.
ดีจริงอ่ะ
Really good? Is that really good?
ฉะนั้นดีไม่ดีมันเป็นเพียงรูปแบบ
Whether it's good or bad, it's just the assumed
มัน
karma.
ไม่ได้ช่วยมันไม่ได้ช่วยอะไร
It's not helpful at all.
เหมือนกับความหลงมันเป็น
Just like a
เป็นความหลง
delusion
เหมือนกันแต่มันต่างรูปแบบของความหลง
It's different forms of delusion.
แต่มันคือความหลง
It's still a delusion by that kind of basis of karma. Deludedly creating karma. Deludedly creating karma is a form of delusion in a different ways.
มันไม่ได้ช่วยอะไรนะ
It's not helpful at all. For samsara, whether it's good or bad, it's not helpful at all
เพราะมันคือรูปแบบของกรรม
because it's a form of karma.
มันไม่ได้หลุดพ้นช่วยกันเลยไม่ได้คลาย
It's not helping through liberation, through unwinding at all.
มันไม่ได้แก้ปัญหาด้วย
It's not solving problems. Instead, it is a problem itself. All that goodness and badness is the problem itself.
แต่ถ้ามันรู้จักละตัวละเอง
If one knows how to let go of the letting go itself, put down the putting down itself, not grasping for the non-grasping itself, this will end the
มันจะ
problem.
แบบตัวตนในดีในไม่ดี
That will have non-self within the goodness and badness.
จะไม่ใช่แบบอะไรในดีหรือในไม่ดีอะไร
It will not be about something within good or
อะไร
bad.
ในอะไรแล้วมันหมด
It will not be in the way of something within something. This is ending of the samuttai.
แต่ถ้ายังอะไรในอะไรอยู่
If
ก็ยังเป็น
there is identification, the problem is still there.
ใช่
Samuttai is still there.
ฉะนั้นจะกรรมดีกรรมไม่ดี
Whether it's good or bad, it's in the time of this thing, samsara and the world.